What's up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome to the Dazed and Confused Poetry Club.
Hello.
I'm Fernando Funes, and here is the amazing, the wonderful Samantha Jane. Samantha, what's up?
Hello. Hello, Pack. Hello, Twitch. Hello, Ted. Hello, Fernando. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We have the wonderful Ted as our tech here, and we have a lot of amazing guests tonight, and I'm excited to hear from all of them. And tell me, Samantha, who were you in high school? What was your high school personality or your identity?
I was very happy to find poetry in high school because I was allowed to be all of the feelings that I was very quietly. It's my journal, and it was okay. Um, I did a lot of journals. A lot. I have boxes of journals that I have moved across the country to multiple states. And the only reason why is so that every now and then I can read one of those really intense high school poems at a show like this.
Well, we all become comedians to be obscure, right? Um, you know what's funny though? I was very smart in high school too. I was a journaler. I barely graduated high school because I was just journaling like the last 2 years because I gave up at a certain point. But I feel like being a writer gave me some immunity with people. It's like, oh, he's a writer, so in the long
Yeah.
run, he's gonna be okay or something.
It's not that you're like unintelligent, you're just not interested in what these people are doing.
Yes, exactly. I'm kind of happy that it's over, but at the same time, you're like, well, that was part of my journey.
It's true. We collect these little pieces of our journey in our journals. There we go.
Oh my God. Is that why it's called a journal, you think?
I think so. It's journey notes,
Journey notes. Oh,
like a
man.
captain's log.
That's the name of your bio there, Samantha Jane, Journey Notes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. How about this? Every once we invite some great poets, poet slash something else, but they're all amazing people. And we're going to read some poems. I'm going to start off tonight. I'm going to read a poem here. That's from my high school days, or maybe, I don't know. It's about a high school experience or person, I guess. Let me see here. I don't know if it's, I don't know. I'm embarrassed reading this one, but I'll read it. Okay, here we go. I erased your phone number so that I'll never be tempted to call you again. You can keep all the friends. They liked you more than me anyways. Plus, they were pretentious and lame, and I'm pretty sure half of your guy friends wanted to fuck you. You can keep all the places we used to hang out. I never really liked them to begin with. I just went there because you liked them, and I would have followed you anywhere. Side note, you are shitty at picking restaurants, and you don't know the joy of food. You can keep it all. You can keep the mall, the cheap clothing stores, the overpriced cinema, the hipster coffee shops, the stink of community college. You can keep that TGA Fridays you really love where you rent to people from high school who you don't want to see and don't want to see you. You can keep it all. Just one thing. Let me keep the bookstores. That's where I belong. I see to you every place we ever went to, every embodiment of our shitty relationship. Just leave me the bookstores. Order your books on Amazon. Go out of state. Send a personal shopper, but leave me the bookstores. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you. I hope you guys liked it.
Beautiful. Classic snaps.
Yes. The memories of a failed relationship, and you're like, what do I want to keep?
I felt it.
Oh my God. Thank you. With that being said, do you want to intro our first poet of the night, Samantha?
Absolutely. Our first poet, I am just so delighted to have here. He is someone who I met when I was at a very emo phase in New York City, writing a lot of journals as well. Brilliant writer who I look up to. His work is phenomenally funny, and I'm very excited to see his poems. Mr. Joe Rendazzo.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Hey, Joe, welcome.
Thank you.
Here.
You were at an emo time when we met?
Oh, I mean, I'm a Scorpio. I'm kind of always in an emo time, but I was like 20. I was like 21, I think, when we met, and I had just moved to New York by myself.
Hmm.
It was like really
Pretty emo.
As someone that wanted to be a beat poet, was like kind of doing my little Allen Ginsberg moment of, getting drunk or Washington Square and, writing about the gray concrete and whatnot.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah. What about you like what were you before comedy? What was your high school Joe?
I was thinking about this the other day because I have a son now who's about to be 13, and he's very like he writes all the time. He has a few like good friends, but they don't socialize a ton. Like there's a lot of there's a weekly Zoom and everybody it's the summertime and everybody's kind of off doing stuff. But he's like so dedicated to writing, and it's just kind of for him. Like he does it for himself, and he shares it with me. And it's really fun to get to do that because that's my vocation, and like it's really awesome that he does it. And I was thinking, when I was his age, I was doing anything I could not to be alone and like thinking. Uh, I was did all sports. I played sports all year round, but I was also like the funny guy. So I got along with people from all the different like cliques and groups in high school. I got along with pretty well. I wouldn't say that I was like popular, but I think I was, like the teachers liked me, and most of the people thought I was funny and nice enough.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of angst, that was going unexpressed, mostly about lack of kissing and penis touching, because none of that was happening to me, and it was happening with everybody else.
There's a lot of poetry about that.
Yeah.
Specifically in high school.
Yeah.
People liked you. It sounds like you're a Richie Cunningham. Like it just
They didn't want to spoil me by kissing me or touching my penis.
Well, and now you are more successful. I had a lot of penis touching and kissing going on, and I wrote a lot of poems about it, and I'm still just writing poems about it.
It's very distracting.
Yeah, I mean, I did write a lot. Like I started a literary magazine at our school when I was in high school, and I acted too. I was like in theater, so I was very I was into all that stuff. I guess I was just a great, well-rounded kid with a dark inner psyche.
You sound like you had a pretty good time.
I actually enjoyed high school. I do look back on it and sort of like, process like those like nights sitting in my room, like, what's wrong with me? Like the stuff that I spent all the time avoiding. But I didn't really write poetry about it. I just avoided it, I think. And then like I think like junior, I never smoked a cigarette or smoked pot or drank until junior summer. And then I was doing that a lot. So that became a nice release.
Senior year.
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
What kind of poems are you going to read for us today? Are they new or old?
These are not from high school. These are earnest attempts at improving you. No, these are like, I've been a poet lately.
I love that.
But I just sort of like, as part of my daily routine, do the morning pages and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
These are more recent. And
Okay,
they're just sort of like, they're not like edited. They're not like crafted really. There's
stream of consciousness.
Yeah, there's a degree of earnestness to them. I guess I didn't realize the conceit of the show was to look bad.
Well, what I'm hearing is you're processing all the emo things that I was writing about in high school, but just now because you're writing. I think we all end up having the same things on the page at the end of the day.
Well, sometimes, sometimes it's just like you just like. Sometimes when I'm writing in the journal, it's a more structured, like this is what I want to write about. Sometimes it's just kind of like whatever needs to get out that day. But they're definitely about loneliness and stuff like that. So.
Well, can we hear him, Joe?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
All right, they don't have titles, but you want to? Let me give you a corny title for this one: "The Falling and the Floating." I'll call it. To be lonely is to collapse all of the future into one moment, to feel that this is how it ends. Eventually, all things rising and falling, and somewhere in the falling you float, suspend, alone. No one to either side, just you, and you, and you. Maybe it is acknowledging the lack of love in yourself, for yourself, keeping love in and out. Standing outside without breath, looking at that wall between you and you, that is loneliness. A disappointment with whoever is left when the falling starts. The knowledge that no one can pull that plug out but you. And the fear of pulling it out is loneliness. The love your parents put in you, the love your children put in you, the love that gave you eyes and lips. Loneliness is the mistaken belief that someone else is responsible for your love. But loneliness is not a sin, it's a calling, not fixed or patched or even miraculously overcome. It's an invitation to meet yourself again exactly where you are and to find the small places where love already is. Loneliness is the ego of all the work it has to do, and what's left is a weariness, a disappointment that it can't be so stingy anymore, that it must release the love it's been holding in reserve. In reserve for what? Withheld from itself in the falling and floating toward the end. Well, that's, yeah, all about loneliness, guys.
All right, Joe, you okay, man? You need a hug?
That was from months ago. I split up with my my wife like a year ago, and so that was like a couple months after that when I wrote that one.
Loneliness is an invitation to meet yourself is a great line. So.
Yeah, thank you. Just kidding. I wrote that in high school, not at 42, 43.
Well, what I do, I read one poem I wrote in high school and one poem I wrote very recently, and then I have people guess. And last time it was a split house. No one could.
Really?
So, take what you will out of that.
You must have been good in high school.
Right. Or I'm just no better now. One or the other. That was great. Do you want to do another one?
Yeah, I'll do another one. Sure.
Okay.
Okay. I'll call this one Pepper. Last night at the restaurant, I choked on pepper more than once, a clear sign. My soul was not connected to my head, nor my head to my mouth. And in that distance, I found irritation and irritating words to bounce around in. Provocative autopilot buzzing over landscapes and dropping small bombs, not just to destroy or even to damage per se, but also to clear debris. Or maybe it was just something irresponsible to do. Because the dust and the dirt got in your eyes, I could see it, and it choked me as I spoke. Thank you, Pepper. I'll heed your warnings next time and worry less about having nothing to say than the embarrassment of saying too much. Complaining, commiserating company, drunken cripples, holding each other up with trembling knuckles against a slant of light, fading fast into dark where the hard floor waits to break bones. Sometimes nothing needs holding up. It settles instead to rest, or it hangs in the gravity of its relation to itself. Pepper.
Wow. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Lovely.
That one was about choking on pepper.
I mean, that's a metaphor right there.
Freshly cracked. Freshly cracked pepper.
Freshly cracked pepper, the spiciest kind.
Mm-hmm.
The meaning I got from it was that sometimes you need some destruction in your life to make space for something new.
Yeah, I think so. When you think about like what some fights are about and what some like outbursts are about, and like it's kind of about, sometimes it's about clearing it all out.
Yeah. Well, Joe, that was amazing, man. Like,
Well, thank you.
You opened up your heart to us, and I really appreciate that. Is there anything that you want to plug for yourself? You're not obligated to, but you're more than welcome to.
Nope, nothing to plug. But thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
For sure. Thank you for being here, Joe. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I love that. Thank you so much, Joe. So I'm going to read a poem, and I think I'll just do one based off of, I feel like Pepper made me feel like how there's good and bad in everything. It's always like a yin yang situation. So also I read one poem that I wrote recently, one poem that I wrote in high school, and then I have people guess. This one might have some giveaways if you know me, but it just poem reminded me of it. And this is a time to follow your feelings, right? Because it's a poetry show. So I'm going to read this one for you. Please. I don't title my poems, but I'll call it an ode to Pepper. My mother is an artist. She always said I was her greatest masterpiece, her legacy to the world, the finest thing she ever made. She says it more and more the closer she crawls towards death. Perhaps we're all artists, creating our works and everything we touch. Every human embrace will help shape them into a living sculpture. Every word that our mouths drop are so many wild poems. Every display of emotion, every tear, so many performances. And our attention is curating the world like a mad gallery full of controversial, very modern art. It's easier to forgive the faults in a piece of art than it is to look at your own failures and see the beauty in every regret and to appreciate all the pain that you felt and you've caused. One tends to turn away from the self when we are confronted with our own darkness. So we make things to soothe ourselves, to establish our presence in the world, to redefine ourselves outside of ourselves as something else, as something that's out there, some product, some accomplishment, a certificate, a title, a name, a word. But there's always a shadow lurking in chiaroscuro, the darkness in a painting that makes the light feel so poignant, the blues and the heartache in a beautiful song that makes it touch you so deeply. But when you make another person as your art, you end up looking at all of your own shortcomings reflected back at you through someone else's eyes. And there's nowhere to hide from that aching truth, from the deep black shadow that always falls under the light of life. And to appreciate that is the best art. Thank you. Those are some of my feelings. At the end of the show, Fernando and I are both going to read a second poem, and then you guys can guess which was which for me. Next, I believe we're going to have my other friend and brilliant poet, writer, artist, raconteur, and I'm also very excited to see what poems you're going to read. This is my friend Bryson Ullman.
I was a wannabe gangster in high school, so none of that poetry will be shared on this day in U.S. history.
So this is not high school poetry.
No, but this is poetry that was inspired by a girl that I was in love with from like my freshman year till I was about 28. It was a long time.
Yeah.
It's a crush.
It wasn't good.
This feels like it's going to be
It didn't work out. Yeah. This is called Lascivious Something. I saw something today that put its fingers in the wound that is you and tore me wide open. As the blood that is my love that gathered beneath the scar poured out through the gaping chasm of my past, I bled from two places, my heart and my eyes. Pulling at my hair, gritting my teeth, screaming into a pillow to preserve the peace of this building while being swept into a torrent of ache and death and despair-filled hope. Screaming into my pillow and my mind, no arms to hold me, no love to shelter me, no silence between my breaths, no calm, no eye, just storm. Your breath upon my thumb on a Monday night now spins a tornado in my stomach where I love yous and wish you were here's. Tear at the lining and silent slow dances bend back the nails on my toes. The past rips the air from my lungs into the vacuum of the memory of your face, smiling, laughing, beaming while I kissed it, awaiting the change of a traffic light. The only light is from the sparks in the maelstrom of the metal remains of stagnant hanging wrongs like so many wind chimes blowing their accusations and ringing their blame, howling off of their strings and down into the abyss of regret that is looking into the past, clanging and sparking off the walls of doubt that is wondering about the future. There is no choice but to make the same mistake. Breathe me and try my hardest to continue keeping it real, falling slowly down the face of confusion like a thing possessed I can't keep from thinking I'm yours. The gale winds of your scent fill this place that you've never been to and never will be, as I, still like the blind fool recounting what it was to see, retrace in my mind's eye the outline of your flesh while city lights creeped in through every sliver of opportunity to gaze, like me, upon you sleeping, recounting every action, every choice, every decision, every single dumb thing, and it all comes back to you, my lascivious something.
Yeah, that was deep.
Yeah. I don't know where we're at on time, Fernando. Would you do another one or not?
I think we're good. I think we have some time, yeah. Yeah, Bryson, do you want to read another one?
Most people do too, so it's up to you. You don't have to.
Yeah.
That was also a great last minute, because I know it was a last minute ask.
Yeah, no worries. That was really good, man. Like, thanks for sharing. If you have another one that you feel comfortable sharing, by all means.
Yeah, I've got another. I'm a Pisces. They're angsty. They're, what they are. Sad bastard stuff. It's great.
Pisces, sad bastard.
Would you a tiny bump to I have to read off my phone, so I keep losing the running order.
Oh, no worries. So Bryson will read one more. I'll read one. Then we'll have Ted. We'll read. There's one that he's inspired to read. Then Natalia. Then Samantha. You'll go last, and you'll finish us up.
Fantastic.
This one was. I wrote this one in college, so it kind of counts. Since my high school, I was just a wannabe gangster that worked on cars. There was no way I was going to get into poetry until college at the earliest. So this is, it kind of works. Cold night, air clean and clear like homeless washed windshield. Scraped knuckles remind me of lost love for mechanics, replaced with humanity and semantics, and hapless poems of lonely lost romantics. I wonder to myself why I've become so lonely with self-knowledge. I'm aware of a different kind of fear. Knowing my vulnerability makes interests disappear. Because my heart's messages are now crystal clear, I have a habit of allowing strangers to get a little too near. Cigarettes are now the minutes that divide the hour, while my optimistic side is losing its power. Hope shows itself like winter's last flower that hopes against nature and order and tradition and knowledge and experience, that the sun will devour the bitter cold that bites at her petals like jackals at a corpse and deviate from this course of wilting and withering and waiting and watching and wanting so much to feel the comforting touch of a warm spring breeze across her lips that stand longingly, aching to be kissed by the season of life she so mournfully missed, but through the mist comes billowing the blistering cold, clutching her stem with a firm reaper's hold as her last petal falls. You can hear her soul call. How can this be? For it's still spring after all.
Damn. Wonderfully, dear. Fantastic. Does that? All right. No, it does not work.
It works.
Well, failure is a part of art, right? Wonderful. And I tell you, it's like comfort Pisces. That is very Pisces. Scorpio, I appreciate it. Water all around. That was beautiful.
I really like that.
Yeah, man. You really captured the awkwardness of being young and knowing all these things yet knowing nothing.
And discovering a new kind of fear. That's like a scary concept in and of itself, and so true. And I didn't think about that from that.
Yeah.
Right. Life's a cornucopia.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Bryson. I'm going to share one of my own now. Let me see here. Here we go. This is kind of a short one. You see here. All right. This is. I guess this is about me. All right. Isn't all poetry about the self? Okay. I'm very lucky. I'm not an alcoholic, but I love sugar so much I might become a diabetic. I'm not a smoker either because I don't like the way tobacco and nicotine stick to your clothes. Plus, I'm too fat to be a sexy smoker. Cigarettes make you look sexy if you weigh under 200 pounds. But if you're fat, cigarettes don't make you sexy. They make you seem fatter. And fat people aren't sexy. I mean, like we are, but my weight has been a national emergency since they saw I was a fat baby. And here's another short one because that was kind of short. This is like a micro one. People are like pan dulce, dog. You got to go to the panaderia and pick the ones you like and bring them home to share with your familia.
I love that.
That felt like a song.
Yeah. So just so everyone knows, I write a poem every day, and it's harder than I imagined. So there's days where I'm like, it's like midnight and I have to write it. So it's like, what can I write that's fast?
Yeah, it reminded me of like in high school, we would do journal all the time. That's why I got into it in morning pages. It's just doing it, working through the ones that suck. Because we're all going to have ones that suck. My mom always said, this painter who was her inspiration, he was like, you get up and paint every day and you paint through the bad ones. And that's how you get to the good ones.
Yes.
Fernando's daily poetry is what inspired me to start writing again.
Yes, and I'm glad you're writing. Your poetry is so powerful and it's so personal, which is good, and it's so vulnerable. Which brings up our next speaker. This is going to be a big challenge for him. It's going to be
the inspiration thread just keeps growing.
A big opportunity to be vulnerable here. This is good for our tech person, the amazing Ted. Ted, please.
Hi, Ted.
Hi, everybody. Hey. Yeah, it's very last minute, and I'm very for it. I'm happy to be here. Thanks, everybody.
I'm just, the fact that you've been inspired by this is so heartwarming to me. I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
So-
no, seriously. Fernando's been really putting his heart out there day after day. And what are you at? You're at like 267, 137?
Last year was the first year I did it every day. The previous year I stopped at like 280 or something. And last year, first time I did it every day. This year,
You did a whole year, yeah.
Yeah.
this year I'm on track to do it again for another year. So we'll see how long I can keep this up. I don't know.
Great.
But yes, Ted, who were you in high school, Ted? You went to school in New England?
I did, yeah. I was in Quincy, Massachusetts, and I was the I guess the theater captain at one point, maybe senior year. I was probably that, like, always in the black box theater. Yeah, that was me, I think.
I did many a show as well. I played all the crazy old ladies.
Yeah,
I
was the crazy old guys. This is
my type right now.
yeah. Great. Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
go in the wolves. That was me.
Yeah, I was the dude in the basement, I think. Yeah. So that's kind of where I was, yeah. And I haven't changed much. Still kind of here.
Well, you're still awesome at tech, I guess, or you're still a lot of black box theaters.
Yeah, I found my hole, and I love it. And yeah, I'm very lucky to be at the pack. So
what's this poem about today?
Oh geez, this I have. Should I read? Yeah, I think it's a love story. So, yeah, it's all about love here. So
That is the classic.
should I do the new love or the old love? What should be?
Which one is your heart telling you to do? Do you want to do?
How long are there? Because now I'm like, I want to guess which is which.
Oh no.
That's what I
Okay,
do.
okay. Well, I'll sing the songs fast then, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Oh geez, I love teching, and being in shows is the best. Where am?
This is why we have you, Ted, because we love it too.
Oh yeah. Okay, all right. I'll just do this. There we go. Okay. Fun. Keep it together. Here we go. Okay. All right. Revelations coming fast. Hold on tight, or it'll never last. Lower the sails and set course to the end of times or something worse. Revelations coming soon. Maybe it's just something new, holding on to the same old blues, fighting every single clue. Whisper something in my ear. Let go of all your fears. Hold me close and keep me in mind. It's all too late, we're out of time. Revelation made it now. I cannot breathe, I don't know how. Cry havoc and let it slip, the dogs of war, the bite and rip. I say to the heavens above, and when I think of you, that I'm in love. Thank you.
Nice. That's cute. Is that from high school? Is that the old one or the new one?
Real quick. Here we
Wait,
go.
yeah.
Okay,
Let me guess.
Um, move over, plans. I've got a bucket to pick. I mean a bone to pick. Fuck it. My words are peeking off the edge of a bowl. All my soul about to swoon off the world and blast my own image of myself. Ugh. Who am I? I know better than this, but at this point I know better and ill savor you. Enjoy every moment I have aching over you, filling myself with unhealthy, toxic, poisonous fictions, ideas of future like overwhelming rocks that come to destroy every bit of advice and ideal I gave meaning to. Cool shoes, cool pants, cool jacket, cool buttons, cool glasses, cool tats, cool hair, cool eyes, big eyes, with happy cheeks. Not happy, but ones that are trying. Let that rock me into space after everything I hope to come true does. Let me be lost again in something I consider a great darkness. Let me love again and be without a schedule, sinking into some void without any moment but this one. Stephanie, am I you yet? Do you love me? Your eyes are so big, deep. I'm in deep. Help. But play it cool. Why ruin such good fun? Just shake it off, no need to run. We'll make plans. Hold me. Kiss me. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, Ted, that gave me such Freaks and Geeks vibes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's such a good one. Was the second one high school? Was it or the older one?
The second one was the newer one.
I love it.
Yeah, that's in me.
I love it.
I loved it too.
I've had this realization that the older I get and the closer I feel to being genuinely the me I was back then. It's like rediscovering that thing without all the anxiety that made you scared to be it in the first place.
Yep, you're speaking my truth right now.
I thought for sure it was the second one, because your New England accent was coming out.
That's true. Yeah, I only my England accent only comes out when I'm tired, embarrassed, or drunk, and yeah. So thank you so much. It's definitely the second one.
Stephanie, if you're watching,
I'm so glad you read that.
Yeah.
If we had any part in bringing that out of you, I feel very honored.
Thank you.
That was good, man. Like, you should not feel shame at all. Those are really good poems, man.
Oh, thank you for that. I would not have written this shit down. I bought a poetry book. Thank you for helping me unlock.
Freaks and Geeks. That's what I was getting from you.
Well, Ted, thank you so much. And all right, y'all, we're rounding. The night is coming to a close here pretty soon. But before that, we got our amazing closing poet. She's a good friend of mine. She's a very talented poet and activist in Orange County. She just released her first poetry collection last year called The Most Spectacular Mistake, which I think you can find a lot of places, Amazon, or buy it directly from her. So that way, cut out the middleman. She's an amazing poet. Please give it up for Anatalia Valles. Anatalia, welcome.
Hi, all. Hi, Twitch. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
For sure. Welcome. Anatalia, who were you in high school? I want to know.
So I was very nerdy, very awkward, and very proud of it. And I definitely agree with Samantha's statement about coming back to that, because the older that I get, I'm 28. So I definitely feel like I'm coming back to her and reconciling. I owe you a lot, girl. We need to link up. We need to be friends again.
Right, that inner child. It's in the artist way too. Mm-hmm. You gotta make friends with that girl.
Yeah,
she never goes away. She just gets smaller and very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that's true. There's an authentic high school self that was the most pure version of you, even though you were ashamed or embarrassed or you had your things, but looking back, that was your authentic self.
Yeah. Your childhood self with awareness.
Sorry, what's Samantha?
It's like your childhood self with awareness before that awareness started to make you change yourself.
Yes. Yes. Before you get a job in your 20s hit and you're like, I'm not that person. Natalia, what high school did you go to since we're both from Orange County?
I went to we were the inaugural, we were the guinea pigs of early college high school in Costa Mesa. And they're still going, but we were the first class. So we were literally the guinea pigs. So we were very spoiled in a lot of ways because we got to like be the first ones to like do prom and like senior year. Like it was really fun, very unique experience.
Was that at Orange Coast College?
It was with Coastline. So close to OCC.
Wow. That's so cool. I remember in high school, those kids were like, they would come randomly and like for summer school, and you could always tell they had like a tough time fitting in because we had so many rules that my high school was like a mini police state.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Oh man, well, thank you for being here. You want to tell us what your poems are about today? What you're gonna talk about?
Yeah, so I'm a Cancer, so I also have a lot of feelings. And
we have
this first
water sign here now.
Yeah.
Yes, we have 4 water signs. Joe and Ted, what are you guys?
I'm a Tauros.
Oh, okay. That's good. All right, we got some fire and mud then. All right.
Yeah. We need something to round us out, or we would just float away. So.
Just drowning feelings. I'm glad you guys are here.
All right, so this is actually from 2008. What? This is literally from a journal. This day will be memorable. I have realized that there are often several times when I feel like crying, just out of the blue. I feel it from my chest and then my brain, then the emo tears come streaming out. I've had so many incidents when this happens. I cry, stained eyes disappoint my present state, and rarely can I stop it from calming. I just cry, 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 cry until I can't give out any more tears. I get so filled with disappointment, so tired of having to hold back emotions. After a few days, I have a total breakdown. I can't avoid this because it dooms me, even though I feel much better when I'm done. I want to be okay with no problems, and just move on. So that's my first one.
It makes me want to hug you so much right now.
Yeah. But my inner child definitely feels good to like honor her words. You know what I mean? It's important.
I love that.
I like
having a space.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we've created a space for some real feelings here in the middle of a comedy Twitch, which is kind of beautiful, Fernando.
No, it is. It is. Well, in all fairness, Natalia, she's like a real poet. She's bringing it. And what I liked about that poem was that like, there's no solution sometimes for how you're feeling. You just kind of have to feel it and be okay with feeling it. And I know being part of an adult is like, yes, I'll just go get rid of this, but no, you got to feel it. And thank you for reminding us of that, Natalia.
Thank you. I have another poem. It's kind of like it's a poem, I think. It's called My Life Is Not a Rom-Com. This is now current. When was the first time you realized love stories were trash? Mine was with my parents when I was a child. They were married and had kids and went to college, but they were not in love. I can count on one hand the times I saw them be affectionate with one another, and I think they only did it to show face. They didn't even make eye contact or try to make each other laugh like in the movies. But I didn't question this behavior. I just took it as normal. That's what marriage was. And I did not want marriage. I wanted what they didn't have: romance. The first time I broke someone's heart, I did it by accident. In high school, a friend and I played a game of you tell me who you like and I'll tell you who I like. And I told him the name. Flustered and nervous, I whispered it so others wouldn't hear. And he told me, never mind. I asked, why not? I told you who I liked. And he replied, well, I just found out the person who I liked someone else. And he spent a whole summer trying to find clever ways to ask me out. But I didn't like him back. And our friendship turned sour and we drifted apart. But That was my first clue of love as possession. The first time someone broke my heart, they did it. Actually, I don't know why they did it, but it hurt. And I finally understood what all those tearjerker songs were about. And I wailed and cried, not just for the person who broke my heart, but because romance was fleeting. And even when I had it within my grasp, it disappeared just as fast as it had arrived. The crush I had in high school ended up courting me, or whatever the kids call it these days, for several months. And I thought about how my younger self would have squealed at the chance to date him, but I didn't like him anymore. That was when I realized that as we get older, we attract and become attracted to different types of people. I don't have a type. I'm sometimes surprised by who and what I like in a person now. Apparently, there's this dating app that measures what kind of people you like and sorts them out for your choosing, like a personal shopper. I can't think of anything more far removed from reality than that. The one time I downloaded one of those apps, I found my college RA's younger brother. I panicked and deleted it. And I haven't been bored long enough to attempt to make a new account. Because I guess that's what it takes for me to play the field. Boredom. I sit on this jagged carpet floor, almost 30, grieving romance. Like this movie script, some white multi-million-dollar executive thought was a genius way to repackage heteronormativity and nuclear families. That makes little to no sense for who I am or what I believe love is now. My life is better than a romantic comedy. I may not have a man worshiping at my feet or sending me butterfly kisses through the phone, but I have growing pains and spiritual healing, setbacks and triumphs beyond my wildest dreams. And yes, I have room for love, for limitations to be tested, for curiosity and awkward encounters, consensual expressions of desire and longing. I sit on this jagged carpet floor grieving people, systems, trauma, codependency, perfectionism, which are all emotionally and physically taxing. And I remind myself to be gentle with all of it. After all, it takes longer to create something new than to copy and paste from what's already out there. Thank you.
Damn, that was good.
Yeah,
I love that so much.
I felt a lot of that. I want to copy and paste that into my Tinder profile.
Wow, that was really good. I thought, is that like a? It wasn't a poem, so is it like a poem in progress? Is it just like some thoughts you have? What was it exactly?
Yeah, I want to shout out Tearjerker Zine. They're based, I think, in Washington, and they do like call outs for like zines about like tears and like just like sadness, like sad girl tears. And it's called Tearjerker Zine. And that was one of the prompts that just came to mind. And I just started writing. I was doing laundry. It's just like, you know, when that inspiration hits and you're like, okay, I'm listening, let's go. And I just submitted it. So I feel like it's like in progress, but it definitely, my cadence may not read as well like on the page. So I'm still learning how to like write it on the page, you know what I mean? But like the cadence, I can feel it, like I feel the rhythm. So I guess it would be, you know, sort of like spoken word, monologue, poetry. It's kind of like a lot of what I write.
I really liked it.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
like things that kind of skate the boundaries between prose, poetry, and monologue, whatever. It doesn't matter. Really.
Yeah, that was very powerful. Like, I don't know, like I forget the line that I don't want love, I want romance. Man. Well, thank you for sharing that, Natalia.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, and go buy her book, The Most Spectacular Mistake. It's amazing. Samantha, do you want to bring us home? Do you want to sell?
I do. I just realized, was there anything you wanted to plug? I didn't ask you.
No, I got nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm to my love poem. I'm still not even quite sure which one.
It's
right,
all good, you know.
All right, I'll do this one. But yeah, I'll do my love poem. I know I love you under the silver smoke and drunk love affairs. But my last, uh, but my lost naked feet don't stutter at the bus stop that drives past your window. Vagabond stalking, empty roads, dimly lit 5 o'clock shadows over leather interiors, twisted kisses that swim with self-denial and confused artistic torture and taste like gasoline. Running on fumes of Friday nights and new pleasures. I'm loving who you'll grow into and hoping that by then I can find the energy to catch up with you and love you like you deserve. Which all boils down to just another way I screw myself by being so fucked up and afraid to grow up. It's such a long road of glass and dead ends left to tread. In the moments between bed sheets and fresh starts, till I learn to lose myself and find you beneath the sand, buried in happiness, under my wearied, blistered soles.
Thank you for that.
Emo love feelings. Okay, so now I have read both poems. Which one does anyone think was from high school and which one was from like now-ish?
I know you grew up in Florida and you said sand. So
I also live in California.
that's true. You're right. You're totally right. I think, why do I think of sand? I think of California. I don't know. What does everyone else think? What do you guys think? If you're watching, which do you think?
I think the second one was from earlier.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna triple down on that.
Okay.
Talia, what do you think? The second one? Okay. All right, Samantha?
Yeah, the second one was from high school. But
Oh.
I feel like you're cheating because you could see that it was a picture of a journal in my phone. I was trying to not have the actual journal to not give it away.
I thought they were both from journals. I didn't know how old the journals were.
Oh no, the first one was new. I wrote that in my phone journal in my notes app.
Oh, I thought they were both.
Hey Ted, could you bring everyone on screen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys. The prize is self-awareness. That's what you get.
Oh my god!
Just a tiny little bit.
I got some.
Sit with how you feel about it. And like,
Wow, everyone. It was really cool hearing your poems, everyone. And I know this is
so much for sharing.
Yes. Thank you so much. Samantha, what else? What do you think? Is there anything else we should say? I don't know.
I mean, I don't have much to plug. I've got shows later, but I just want to thank everyone for helping me recreate this space. This theme has come up, like connecting to who you were back when I discovered poetry in high school. It was it like took the place of therapy. It was a place to put some feelings out there so that they weren't all secret and weird. And I just love how everyone here has embraced it and made such a supportive little space for us. So thank you guys so much.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for coming here and being vulnerable and for sharing. It's not easy, but I'm glad you did. So thank you. Thank you for everyone watching. Catch us next month on, I'll tell you right now, August.
Second Thursdays?
Second Thursday of August, which I can't tell you the exact. Oh, it's going to be August 15th. Sorry.
I may be in New York City, but I will still do it from New York City. So
August 12th. August 12th, actually. So.
Okay.
August 12th.
Oh, right before Friday 13th. That's right.
Oh, yes, Friday the 13th. Well, no poetry on that day. But August 12th, there'll be poetry. Thank you so much. Thank you to Natalia Baez.
Thank you so much,
Ted and Bryson. And to my amazing co-host, Samantha.
And Dazed. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, Fernando.
All right. Awesome, everyone. Thank you so much. And have a good night, everyone. This has been the Dazed and Confused Poetry Club. Bye-bye.